This was your wing. This was your flight path angle. This was your flight path angle. You were flying this way. Suddenly, vertical gust hits you from here. So that vertical gust, when it hits you, your angle of attack changes by this, let's say, delta angle of attack. This much your delta angle of attack has changed because of this vertical gust. So, if you assume the CP is here, CP पे lift act करता है. CP is the point where lift acts, but this point keeps changing. So this is this, because angle of attack बढ़ेगा, CP will move forward. So this point will keep changing all the way. So this is not the right place to figure out change in lift. So which point they have fixed to figure out the change in lift takes place is that point is called aerodynamic center. It is the point at which it is assumed change in lift takes place. Now I assume that this is the point where change in lift takes place. So earlier when I was flying a straight and level this way, my lift was this much. When this vertical gust hits us, angle of attack has increased. What will happen in the lift? वर्टिकल गस्ट आई यहां से, इसने आपके एंगल ऑफ अटैक, ऐसे जा रहे थे आप, यहां से वर्टिकल गस्ट ने आपके एंगल ऑफ अटैक को बढ़ा दिया ऐसे करके. सो एंगल ऑफ अटैक बढ़ गया. सो व्हाट विल हैपन टू लिफ्ट? लिफ्ट विल चेंज and change in lift takes place at what point? Change in lift, aerodynamic center. So let's say this is your change in lift, delta L. Now you were flying straight and level. This is the level you want to fly. Vertical gust hits you. Now your angle of attack has increased. Lift will increase. If nothing is done, aircraft will continue to go this way. Can you accept? Is this acceptable? Aircraft should inherently made in a way that something should happen, that it should come back, right? So they found out कि this wing is always unstable. कि अगर मैंने जरा सा vertical gust आया तो ये ऊपर चला जाएगा, ऐसे ही जा रहा है. If vertical gust comes from top, it will try to go downward and वहां पे नीचे ही चला जाएगा. So wing is considered always destabilizing. Wing of aircraft is always destabilizing. Means हमेशा stable नहीं होगा, हमेशा destable होगा या unstable होगा. Now how to correct this without any pilot input? So this is stability in which plane? This is which is stability? What stability is called? It is a longitudinal stability, right? In pitch, longitudinal stability is about which axis? Lateral axis. So your pitching means which stability? Longitudinal stability. So you have to do something to achieve the aircraft is longitudinal stable. For that, you design something called tail plane. Who gives you longitudinal stability? Is the tail plane. Means aircraft pitch में कितना stable है, that is given by tail plane. Now, tail plane is always at a half angle of incidence than the wing. Let's say if wing is at 4-degree angle of incidence, if wing is attached at angle of incidence is 4 degree, the tail will be attached at angle of incidence of 2 degree. Angle of incidence समझते हो? And the longitudinal axis of the wing or aerofoil, whatever it is. So now think, this is your tail plane. Vertical gust, this was also a flight, it's flight path angle. Vertical gust will hit this also. उसको hit किया तो इसको भी hit करेगा. So now इसका भी एरोडायनेमिक सेंटर होगा. तो यहां पे पहले लिफ्ट ये थी, Now due to this vertical gust, lift will, let's say CG is here. This is your CG point. So vertical gust has come here. This has increased your lift here, delta L. Okay. Now, this wing, which is destabilizing, what is trying to do with the aircraft attitude? Pitching moment ko kya kar raha hai? It is trying to create a pitching up moment due to this vertical gust, and the magnitude of this would be, this pitching moment would be this arm length and this delta L. जो भी delta L होगा, that is your aerodynamic force into this X, which is what is the arm length. This will be the magnitude of pitching moment created by the wing, which is a destabilizing moment, because it is the wing which is trying to create this upward pitching moment. Now tail plane is also creating upward movement. इसका भी यहाँ पे डेल्टा एंगल ऑफ अटैक बढ़ा है, सो यहाँ पे भी डेल्टा एल हो जाएगा लिफ्ट. दिस इज क्रिएटिंग लिफ्ट एट द टॉप साइड. सो व्हाट विल बी द पिचिंग मोमेंट ऑफ द एयरक्राफ्ट? इफ टेल इज प्रोड्यूसिंग लिफ्ट, एयरक्राफ्ट विल बी पिच, इट विल गो नोज डाउन. सो दिस टेल प्लेन is trying to create a nose down pitching moment. Is it stabilizing or destabilizing? जो problem हुई थी उसको correct कर रहा है या नहीं? Tail plane is problem was aircraft was disturbed in pitch and it was trying to go this way. Tail plane has created opposite force to put the nose down. So tail plane is stabilizing or destabilizing? So wing is always destabilizing, tail plane is always stabilizing. Now this magnitude of this would be, now you can say tail plane is a small aerofoil. How can it correct for such a large wing? So you can see the arm length. This is the arm length of this tail plane. So magnitude of the stabilizing force would be delta L into x1, and it will try to give correction to the whatever disturbance is being created.